So hello guys, here we go again for another video today. For today's video, we're gonna discuss about chapter 4 activities. As you can see on the screen, I have the pre-made or preload tab for number 1 activity for chapter 4, which is physical layer terminologies and instructions. Description of the physical layer are divided in the table. Drag each physical layer term to its description. So what we're gonna do is drag this terminologies into its corresponding meaning. So let's read number 1. Media that uses patterns or microwave to represent bits. So you you should know that the way I present these kind of things is I've already studied this, so what I'm gonna show you is the explanation on why is that the answer. So for number 1, it's wireless, because wireless physical layer refers to the layer which protects the data to reach reliably from transmitting to the receiver in the presence of noisy channel environment. So for number 2 is the capacity of a medium to carry data. So this is bandwidth. I browsed earlier and this is the exact meaning that the bandwidth show. So another one is digital bandwidth, measures the amount the data that can flow from one place to another in a given amount of time. For example, the data that I sent from here to my prof is delivered in a set of a given amount of time. So number 3 is the fiber optic, which is the use of light, pattern of light to represent bits, as well as when we use lights, the medium that are used is glass, right? Number 4, a measure of transfer bit across the media, which is the throughput. In general terms, throughput is the rate of production or the rate at which something is processed. The last one is the copper media that uses electrical pulses to represent bits. We all know that copper is a fantastic metal in conducting electricity. Because of that, back in 19th century, nations started a law, 1,000 miles of copper cables to support the development of the telephone network, as well as a we know that telephone is one of a way of communicating to others. So let's check it and let's see if we are correct. We are right. So here we are guys for the activity number 2 in chapter 4, which is the copper media characteristic. Excuse me. Instructions: UTP, STP, and coaxial copper media characteristic are provided in the table. Click the appropriate field to match the characteristic to the media type. So let's reset it as to see and explain to you why it is the corresponding answer. So before anything else, I will explain to you what is a UTP, STP, and coaxial and differentiate in each other. So a UTP is a unshielded twisted pair, as the term it implies. It's unshielded. Cables are widely used in the computer and telecommunication industry as an Ethernet cables and telephone wires. In a UTP cable, conductors switch from a single circuit are twisted around each other in order to cancel out electromagnetic interference or EMI from external sources. So the next one is the STP, which is the vice versa of the UTP. It is the shielded twisted pair, was originally designed for IBM for a token ring network that include two individual wires covered with a foil shielding, which prevents electromagnetic interference or EMI, thereby transporting data process. STP is similar to unshielded twisted pair or UTP. However, it contains extra foil wrapping or copper braid jacket to help shield the cable signal from interference. So the last one is the coaxial coaxial cable. A coaxial cable is a type of shielded and insulated copper cable that is used in a computer network and to deliver cable TV services to end users. Well, it's usually used in TV. It's also known as coax. So number one, attachment antennas to wireless device can bundle the fiber optic cabling for two-way data transmission. As I said to you, it's a two-way data transmission. Wireless devices. Um, um, I don't have any explanation for this except that the use of antennas. The usually use of antennas is the TV antennas in TV, right? So it's definitely like wax. Counters EMI and RFI by using shielding techniques. The word is there, shielding techniques and special connectors. It's the STP, the shielded twisted pair. And number 3, the most common network media. As I said before, the most common is the UTP or unshielded twisted pair. So let's check it. It's incorrect because there's a bug in the last question, which is here and there. That's not question, but you definitely need to answer that for you to have a correct one. And this one is the third activity for chapter 4, which is the fiber optic terminologies. Instruction: description of the fiber optic media are provided in table, which this take the appropriate field to match the description. The fiber optic cable type. So multi-mode, the choices are the multi-mode and single mode. What do you mean by multi-mode fiber optic? Multi-mode fiber is a type of optical fiber designed to carry multiple light arrays or modes simultaneously. Each are marginally different reflection angle inside the fiber optic core. Multi-mode fiber is mainly used to transmit across comparatively shorter distances, as the modes are more likely to disperse over longer externs. So it is used in a short distance transaction because when you use this in a longer distances for the data that will be transmitted tend to be dispersed. This phenomenon is known as modal dispersion. So in single mode is the vice versa of the multi-mode, which is the fiber is common type of fiber which is used to transmit over long distances. It is one of two optical fibers types. The single fiber is a single glass fiber strand used to transmit a single mode of ray of light. So a single mode fiber features only one transmission mode. Compared to the multi-mode, it can carry high bandwidth, however it needs to be have a light source having a narrow spectral width. So let's continue to the questions. I can help data travel approximately 1.24 miles or 2 kilometers over 2,000 meters. So that's a short distance. If you see it in a larger scale, it's a short distance. What we cope with long distance is the from here to another country. That's a very long distance. Uses lights emitting diodes as a light source in transmitter. Single mode. Uses lasers in a single beam as a data light transmitter. This one. Single, the word. It's used to connect long distance telephoning. Yes, long distance telephone and cable applications. So let's check it. Oh, no, I get confused. This is definitely single, and this one is in multi-mode. Let's try it again. Oh, it says incorrect because you need to answer the last two, which is don't have any questions in there. So let's check it. Oh, it's reverse. Sorry, Ray, a while ago I got confused. I thought this column is for single mode and this one is for multi mode, and that's why I answered this portion a while ago. So hello guys, we're at the last part of the video, which is the last. I think this is the last one. Yes, this is the last one. Activity for chapter 4, and it has two parts, which is the figure 1 and figure 2. So let's start with figure 1. Instructions: drag the generic frame field to its correct location and diagram. So excuse me for lacking in explanation for this one, but I will do my best to address what is the corresponding explanation for every tiles that is moved towards this. So in this tree is the header, the packet data, and the trailer. So this is the header. So in this process, of course, you will need to start the frame, which is part of the header, and the next one is the addressing of which and how and when, and next one is the type of data or frame and the control. In the section of packet data, of course, the data itself, you need to detect what the errors, and after the process is all made, of course you need to stop the frame, which is the frame stop. And let's move on to the phase 2 of and let's reset that. Phase 2 is composed of contains the IP header transport layer, PDU, and data. Of course, that is the data itself, because without the IP header, you will not know where the data will come from. And the next one is the identifies the layer protocols used by LCC. In this, it's pretty obvious that it's the type of data, which identifies the layer 3 protocols used by the LLC. And the third question marks the end of the frame. Of course, the frame stop indicator flag. As you can see here, it's blocked by this. So number 4 is identify source and destination host by using MAC address. When we say by using MAC address, of course it's the addressing of your data to which IP will MAC address in which place it needs to go. Specific special flow control services, and it is the control. Correct. Thank you. By the way, thank you everyone for still watching on my vlog. Sir, hope that you will give us a chance. Thank you.